A concept. Harry Potter with his mother's hair and father's eyes, instead of vice versa. Harry with fiery dark red hair and soft hazel eyes please, and thank you. I imagine this is how Harry and Draco's first meeting would have gone then. Haha. Red hair. Hand-me-down clothes. You must be a Weasley. A what? Can you imagine how much more confused Arthur would have been in that scene where he first meets Harry? His eyes would probably sweep right over Harry at the breakfast table, and then he would freeze and have to do a mental tally of his children. 1609, 1784, 1792, 1863. Virginia's territorial claims over the years. With your donations, we can reduce Virginia or even further. I hate when you are being a fun and zesty texter, and the other person is a slice of damp bread. I can't carry this conversation alone. I have very little upper body strength. My pockets jingle with stolen buttons from Hot Topic. I literally can't stop stealing those buttons from the button vats. Like I don't feel like paying $3 for a piece of tin with Pasheen on it, but I do feel like doing a heist. Call the cops. B. I'll have sex with them. This feels like the kind of thing you overhear when the person next to you on the bus is having a heated phone call. Also, I got a tiny rubber baby for 95 cents. My son. Dad. This little plastic infant's by the computer vexes and haunts me. Is your dad a tragic 19th century French author? Talking to my dad is a freaking minefield. Today at dinner I asked him if he'd ever been to New York City in the 90s, and he was like, nope, only in the 70s, to donate blood for my mom in the hospital while she was dying from leukemia. I swear I didn't even know my grandmother had leukemia, may she rest in peace. This is worse than the time I asked him if he'd ever had riding lessons, and he said, not since my childhood lesson pony burned to death in a barn fire in Kentucky. He just did it again. I was making small talk while we were carrying in the groceries, like, yeah, I have a taser in my purse, but I've never gotten to use it, and he goes, I've been tasered before, it's not fun. Neither was waterboarding. What the F, Dad? Latest edition. Me. I found a bottle of Vicks Vapo Rub in the cabinet that expired in 2002, but it was fine. My dad. Oh, I don't touch that stuff, but guys I worked with used it to mask the smell of bodies that had been dead for a while. Is your dad an ex-assassin? An ex-assassin who loved his mum and his pony. In college there are only two moods. 1. I can do this. After outlining everything I need to do, it doesn't seem so bad. In fact, it's very methodical and easy to follow, and I can do it. 2. Oh my god, it's happening. It's the end for me. I might as well be dead. Everything is due now. I was put on this earth to suffer. I have 2 essays due in 45 seconds, and all I've eaten today is half a goldfish cracker. I can only feel pain. Also, these moods go back and forth every hour. How do you take your medication? Lawful good. Juice. Neutral good. Water. Chaotic good. Soda. Lawful neutral. Tea. True neutral. Dry swallow. Chaotic neutral. Shower water. Lawful evil. Alcohol. Neutral evil. Soup. Chaotic evil. Condiments. If I ever meet a chaotic evil, downing their meds with condiments, I will break their physical bodies into segments, like a Kit Kat, and throw them into the trash. The Beatles. Not a single song in a Bionicle commercial. The All-American Rejects has a song in a Bionicle commercial. Pretty clear to me who comes out on top. The Beatles. Definitely the Beatles. Wrong. Explain. The Beatles. Not a single song in a Bionicle commercial. The All-American Rejects has a song in a Bionicle commercial. In the dog world, humans are elves that routinely live to be 500 plus years old. They live so long, but the good ones still bond with us for our entire lives. These immortals are so kind, we must be good friends to them. My heart WTF. Not gonna lie, this f***ed me up a bit. POV fantasy slice of life book when. Now I'm old. The fur around my muzzle is grey and my joints ache when we walk together. Yet she remains unchanged. Her hair still glossy, her skin still fresh, her steps still sprightly. Time doesn't touch her, and yet I love her still. For generations, he has guarded over my family. Since the days of my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, he has kept us safe. For so long we thought him immortal. But now, I see differently, for just as my fur grows grey and my joints grow stiff, so too do his. He did not take in my children, but gave them away to his. I will be the last that he cares for. My only hope is that I'm able to last until his final moments. The death of one of his kind is so rare. The ending of a life so long is such a tragedy. He has seen so much. He knows so much. I know. He takes comfort in my presence. I only wish that I will be able to give him this comfort until the end. You know, conversations about World War II would be a lot more bearable and constructive if white men found that period rightly horrific, rather than pornographic. We glorify war because it's the only time we are allowed to release the beast and not go to jail for it. You want to see who a man truly is? Put him in a battle. Man is never more himself than when he has nothing to lose. You're not fucking Odysseus. Go to therapy. My favorite toy is my Beanie Babe. I like it because it is soft. You're a hazard, Harry. I'm sitting in the parking lot at McDonald's, and some country bumpkin guy leans out the window of his ugly X-truck and yells, "Hey girl, you're looking hot, can I tap that?" And I accidentally yelled, "Sorry, you have to have at least 10 teeth to ride this ride." And the guy in the car beside me is like crying, "Why did I say that? Oops. Oh my fucking god." My boyfriend won't stop talking to me about whether or not I would eat Pokemon steaks. We think maybe Mr. Mime steaks would have white meat and ooze a purple liquid. I feel like you're the only one qualified to tell us more. Listen, the only part of a Mr. Mime that's edible are the red spots, and that's only after being properly cooked. If you bite into any part of their body while it's still raw, you'll suffer near immediate food poisoning. Luckily, just like red kidney beans, the potential toxins are easily to remove, provided you take the right steps. Once they've been safely removed from their inedible surroundings, the larger red spheres are ready to begin working with. It's worth noting that the smaller spots on the hands and cheeks also fall into this category, but they are almost always too small to be considered harvesting by most professionals. You'll want to start by cutting away any flesh that's still directly touching the pale parts. When in doubt, a wider cut is always preferred. Better safe than sorry. One benefit of working with Mr. Mimes is that, along with many others in their typing, their bodies are held together with physic energy and thus don't require deboning. The next part is going to require boiling in a large pressure cooker. Some may find it a challenge to find a pot big enough to host all the parts, so cooking them individually is fine. Remember to follow the instructions to the letter. After they've been removed and dried, an easy way to text if they are safe to eat is to cut them in half and check the spongy center. A darkened purple core means they've been boiled long enough, while any lighter, greenish tints means you probably needed a bit more time. Once they are out of the danger range, you can now safely use them in variety of dishes. Their almost mushroom-like texture means they absorb flavors well, and pictured above is one of my personal favorites. This guy though, you can just pop him into your mouth hole. It's fine. Mime G. Height, 2 feet 0 inches. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Working with children is a wild fucking experience, y'all. This morning at work one of our second graders got my attention and was like, "You know what word my mom told me not to say? Pussy." And I was like, "Then why did you just say if?" And she went, "I dunno," and then nabbed. I would not have all these worries had I been born a goat.